Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a while since my last video. I went on a little vacation to Sholo, but I'm back. The first and only vice presidential debate happened, and it was mostly civil. Kind of surprising, kind of not. Pence is more of a politician than Trump ever has been or ever will be. I dislike Kamala Harris so much, and this made me dislike her even more. She looked like a bobblehead the whole time. She was making faces the entire debate that like the mean girl in middle school made at you, you know? Like she comes off as fake, she comes off as a mean girl. She's not this easygoing woman who's just holly jolly. She was a prosecutor. That's kind of contradictory.
I think Joe asked me to serve with him because, you know, I have a career that included being elected the first woman district attorney of San Francisco, where I created models of innovation for law enforcement in terms of reform of the criminal justice system. I was elected the first woman of color and black woman to be elected Attorney General of the state of California, where, of course, now I serve in the United States Senate as only the second black woman ever elected to the United States Senate. I serve.
She really tries to act like she wasn't chosen for being a black woman, but it's like, no, that's precisely why you were chosen. It has nothing to do with your credentials. Stop acting like that's part of it. Joe Biden had two requirements. You had to be a woman, you had to be black. He really narrowed it down, and he didn't choose you based off anything you've done. Simply the color of your skin. But somehow that's supposed to be empowering?
You know, that's a good segue into our third topic, which is about the economy.
How'd she know it was a good segue? How did she know what the next topic was going to be? I know I'm not the only one who caught that.
Susan, thank you for pointing out the Green New Deal is on their campaign website. And as USA Today said, it's essentially the same plan as you co-sponsored with AOC when she submitted it in the Senate. And you just heard.
I don't know why Kamala Harris and Joe Biden both try to deflect about the Green New Deal. It's literally on the website. They always try to publicly distance themselves from that idea, but it's pretty understood that's what they want.
Insult to the men and women who serve in law enforcement, and I want everyone to know who puts on the uniform of assault. To the men and women who serve in law enforcement, and I want every...
The Fly won the debate. As usual, I was not let down by the instantaneous amount of memes about The Fly.
And was killed. And on the other side, there were neo-Nazis carrying tiki torches, shouting racial epithets, anti-Semitic slurs. And Donald Trump, when asked about it, said there were fine people on both sides. This is who we have as the president of the United States. And America, you deserve better.
He condemned the KKK, neo-Nazis, and white supremacists, and has done so repeatedly. You're concerned that he doesn't condemn neo-Nazis. President Trump has Jewish grandchildren. His daughter and son-in-law are Jewish.
Kamala Harris tried to push the find people on both sides lie. It's so easily debunked too. Like, I had to push someone that I was arguing with the other day to look it up. Just look it up. What are you so afraid of? That he actually denounced white supremacy? Isn't that what you want? So why are you so reluctant to even check and see if he did? It's right there. It's right on the internet. If you're still running with that lie at this point, that just shows you have no valid argument or no valid reason to dislike Trump. If you have genuine problems with people, you don't need to make shit up about them.
And you have to know Joe's story to know that Joe has known pain, he has known suffering, and he has known love. And so
Kamala Harris whining and crying for Joe Biden, which was kind of what the DNC was like, just saying, Joe Biden's a nice guy. He's had a lot of hardship. Somehow in their minds, that means he should be president? Who hasn't felt pain, suffering, and love? That's literally like what being a human is. You're not special, and that doesn't mean you should run the country.
before there were more than 5 cases in the United States, all people who had returned from China, President Donald Trump did what no other American president had ever done. And that was he suspended all travel from China, the second largest economy in the world. Now, Senator Joe Biden opposed that decision. He said it was xenophobic and hysterical. And under President Trump's leadership, Operation Warp Speed, we believe, will have literally tens of millions of doses of a vaccine before the end of this year. The reality is, when you look at the Biden plan, it reads an awful lot like what President Trump and I and our task force have been doing every step of the way. I mean, quite frankly, when I look at their plan that talks about advancing testing, creating new PPE, developing a vaccine, it looks a little bit like plagiarism, which is something Joe Biden knows a little bit about.
Susan, this is important. I want to add, Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
I have to
I'm
weigh
speaking.
Yeah, you can have 15 more seconds.
When Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx and our medical experts came to us in the second week of March, they said if the president didn't take the unprecedented step of shutting down roughly half of the American economy, that we could lose 2.2 million Americans. Now, that's the reality.
Thank you.
They also said
Vice
to us,
President.
if we did everything right, Susan, we could still lose more than 200,000 Americans.
But half of Americans now say they wouldn't take a vaccine if it was released now. If the Trump administration approves a vaccine before or after the election, should Americans take it, and would you take it?
If the public health professionals, if Dr. Fauci, if the doctors tell us that we should take it, I'll be the first in line to take it, absolutely. But if Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not taking it.
Vice President
Senator Harris, you're entitled to your own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts. You yourself said on multiple lost the trade war with China. Joe Biden never fought it. Joe Biden has been a cheerleader for communist China over the last several decades. Are you and Joe Biden going to pack the court if Judge Amy Coney Barrett is confirmed? I mean, there have been 29 vacancies on the Supreme Court during presidential election years, from George Washington to Barack Obama. Presidents have nominated in all 29 cases. But your party is actually openly advocating adding seats to the Supreme Court, which has had 9 seats for 150 years, if you don't get your way. This is a classic case of if you can't win by the rules, you're going to change the rules. Now, you've refused to answer the question. Joe Biden has refused to answer the question. So I think the American people would really like to know, if Judge Amy Coney Barrett is confirmed to the Supreme Court of the United States, are you and Joe Biden, if somehow you win this election, going to pack the Supreme Court to get your way?
1864.
Well, I'd like you to answer the question.
No, Mr. Vice President, I'm
please,
speaking.
very
I'm
fast.
speaking. Okay.
People, Susan, are voting right now. They'd like to know if you and Joe Biden are going to pack the Supreme Court if you don't get your way in this nomination.
Let's talk about packing.
You once
Come
again
on.
gave a non-answer. Joe Biden gave a non-answer.
Trying to answer you
the
now.
American people deserve a straight answer. And if you haven't figured it out yet, the straight answer is they are going to pack the Supreme Court if they somehow win this election. Men and women, I just want the record to reflect she never answered the question. So I think the American people, maybe the next debate, Joe Biden will answer the question. But I think the American people know the answer.
Thank you, Vice President.
And people around our country, of every race, of every age, of every gender, perfect strangers to each other, marched shoulder to shoulder, arm in arm.
In San Francisco, when you left office, African Americans were 19 times more likely to be prosecuted for minor drug offenses than whites and Hispanics. When you were Attorney General of California, you increased the disproportionate incarceration of blacks in California. You did nothing on criminal justice reform in California. You didn't lift a finger to pass the First Step Act on Capitol Hill.
In the comments what you thought, who you thought won the debate, and next time something interesting in the world happens, maybe I'll make a video about it. See you next time. Bye.